This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace world and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar, ECW original, and co-star of the London Film Critics Best Picture winner, the wrestler, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the birthday boy, Blue Meanie. Meanie! Happy birthday. And what's on your mind?
Hey, man. Just another trip around the sun. Yeah, just another trip around the sun. 53rd, which is crazy. Just, man, talk about, people are like, oh, never get old. And here I am, turning 53, and I don't feel old. I don't feel old. I don't feel cantankerous. I don't feel grumpy. Well, sometimes I'm grumpy.
Yeah,
get me behind the wheel of a car, and then I'm a deaf human being, but just it always happens behind the wheel of a car. But feeling good, and just grateful to be here, man. Just been through a lot in this life. Done some crazy things, and still here to tell the tale. So I'm doing good. How about you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm okay this morning. I had a really scary thing that happened last night. I was sleeping. It was about 1 a.m, and excuse me. I had some, and you'll hear my voice is kind of scratchy today, y'all. And I'm gonna be like kind of burping a lot. I apologize. I'll try to mute myself as much as I can, but I had some reflux come up while I was sleeping, and it was bad. Like I was choking.
Ooh.
And I couldn't get up. Like I couldn't catch my breath. I was like trying to clear it. It like burnt, like it was in my lungs, in my airway and stuff, up in my nose here. Excuse me. It was one of the scariest moments of like my life. It was terrifying. And I was up for like a good hour and a half afterwards. I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital. It was so bad. So deeply unpleasant. So I got to call the doctor and make sure everything's good there. But yeah, no, that was other than that, I'm good. But I, pulled ribs and shit. It's like a good fart, feels like it's something stuck up here. You need a good rip roaring one to let out, and it's not coming out. That's kind of how it feels right now. So, but other than that, man, no, life is good. It's a beautiful day out here in the mean streets of Downingtown. Everything is
terrible, and you're just like, man, if I could just. No, it's like if you got like a little air bubble in your gut, and you're like, oh man, just please let me fart and get rid of this. It's like, and you let it go, and have some of the best sleep of your life after that. You just go, oh, now I can just go back to sleep.
Just let the whole thing out. Just like an Evan Rude, like a kazoo. Just let that shit out, man. So we
do the one cheek snake.
There it is.
That man is farting loudly.
Yes, he is, Dan. But good morning to everyone. The Pod Squad is here. Good morning, y'all. Great to see everybody. Thank you for being out. Matthew Elvis Presley is here. He says, let's everyone hear it for the leader of the Blue Line and our tribal beef. Let's acknowledge him. Good morning, sir. Good morning to you.
Thank you.
Who else is
Thank
here?
you.
Jesse Brown is here. Good morning, sir. And a pleasant Bubba Booey to you. Shackleford is here as well. Good morning, sir.
Shackleford.
Matthew Elvis Presley says, happy birthday, Meanie.
Thank you.
So I know every year, usually Mrs. Meanie does the birthday meal, and I'm curious, what's the birthday? We got to know right off the top here. Let's start. What's the birthday Meanie meal this year?
Normally she does a steak, but like she mentioned burgers. I was like, oh, absolutely. And look, I can't do any justice on how I can describe the burgers, but it was just amazing. It's just like, the good thing about having a wife who can cook is like every meal feels like a restaurant style meal. It's like something you would pay a lot of money for. Technically I did because, we got the groceries at, in the grocery a little bit high, but no, just, she made a couple really, really good burgers, like just like melt in your mouth kind of easy to chew. It's like one. It's like it's like when you go out to go out to Wawa and order a meatball hoagie, and then you go out to a restaurant and you order meatballs, and there's they're restaurant quality meatballs.
Mhm.
You're like, this is no offense to Wawa, I love their meatballs, but
Sure.
you go to a nice Italian restaurant and you get those meatballs. You're like, oh, that's a meatball. So Mrs. Meanie made some burgers, and it's like, yeah, I could go to McDonald's, but then she makes a burger, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what a burger's supposed to taste like. So,
I
dude, it
love it.
was that, and then we went out to McCusker's a little bit last night for some daddy sodas.
Mm.
For my actual birthday, we're going to a Phillies game, Phillies Cincinnati, over there in Citizens Bank Park.
Mm.
Shout out to Bronwyn Billington, who Dynamite Kid's daughter.
Oh.
She's a huge Philly sports fan, and her dad, Dynamite Kid. She said her dad loved Philadelphia so much she's kind of adopted Philadelphia as one of her, favorite cities. So she reached out. She's like, "Hey, I'm going to be in town. I've never been to a Phillies game. You want to go? Do you and Tracy want to go to a Phillies game?" I'm like, "Absolutely."
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I want to go to the one on May 18th. I was like, well, that just happens to be my birthday. So me, her, and her team are going to Phillies game. Hopefully I could do something goofy, get on TV or on the Jumbotron. One year we were at a Phillies game, and this is when I had my hair blue all the time. So I would.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Your hair isn't blue all the time. You don't. The white isn't a gimmick for the show.
Well, my hair's naturally blue. This is just a disguise.
Right. Okay. That's what I figured. That's what it was. I thought it was like the blue, and sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was very confused for a second. I was like, wait a second. I was told this is the Blue Meanie. This fucking hair is white. I'm just okay. Fine.
Yeah, this is the disguise. I'm naturally just blue. I'm an alien. So.
Of course, I see. Yeah, it's the Clark Kent with the glasses. Oh, that can't be the Blue Meanie, right? His hair is white.
Yes, same face, same everything.
Yeah,
just glasses, some Brill cream.
Silly me. Sorry about that. Continue.
It's all good. It's all good. Like one time we went to a Phillies game, and they threw me up on the Jumbotron. So of course I'm a ham. They had this thing called Bongo Cam where they put bongos up on the screen. Mm-hmm. You have to play these imaginary bongos. So like I was just being a total class clown about it. And they would cut away and somebody else would do them. And then they come back to me and I would act surprised like, oh. And so that goes back and forth for like 4 or 5 times. Next day, me and Mrs. Meanie are walking out to my car. Somebody passed by, goes, "Hey, Bongo Man." I'm like, however long, back then might have been 20 years of wrestling. 20 years of wrestling flushed down the toilet just by being on the Jumbotron as Bongo Man. But like that happened a couple of times throughout the day. We went to Tony Luke's. "Hey, Bongo Man."
That's awesome.
Jesus Christ, how many people were at the game?
I think you have me confused with someone else. I'm the Blue Meanie. Yeah.
Professional wrestling's the Blue Meanie.
Television's Blue Meanie. Hello.
Did you know I was in The Wrestler?
Yeah. I was in. It's a London Film Critics Best Picture winner. I don't know if you recognize me. Just
yeah.
I'm friends with television's Rock the Dwayne Johnson. Not sure if you know that name. With the eyebrow, smelling cook smelling.
Smell this fart. I'm making in the shower once. Fucking Brian Christopher's like, "Hey, Meanie, come here."
Oh no.
What? Yeah, like a bucket, and he's like. He's like, "Follow me." We go into the shower, and the Rock's taking the shower. He throws ice water on the Rock.
Oh God!
Like, oh geez. Sorry, I didn't know Brian was leading me this way, but
Oh my God,
Him
man.
and Brian had a relationship going back to Memphis to where he could rib one of the biggest wrestlers on the planet at the time.
Yeah. Oh my God, I bet. What were some of Brian Christopher's other ribs towards him that you remember? Anything memorable?
I don't know too much. I just knew that one, but and Dwayne fucking laughed it off, but it was funny.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh shit. I didn't want to look like an accomplice or like I put him up to and
I don't want to be this guy.
The second guy always gets the more of the blame than the guy actually doing the crime,
Mm-hmm. Man, dude. We got a birthday message for you here. Matthew Elvis Presley says, in honor of Meanie's birthday, I'm busting out the bong right now, sir. This one's for you.
Have a bong for two, my friend. I had to be productive today, so
yeah, can't be on Andromeda.
Yeah, maybe later tonight when I know I have nothing to do and I can just sit on my couch. I got some edibles, so we'll see what happens.
See where Meanie ends up, and you should probably not watch the UAP files if you're on the edibles. That may not be a good idea, but you could.
It's supposed to be another batch coming out next week, which
I was just about to ask.
Supposed to be like the next level, like the first batch that they put out. They said, okay, this is the low-lying fruit. This is to kind of warm people up, and supposedly the next batch is supposed to have more. They were trying to get these a couple weeks ago. Representative Luna sent a message to, publicly did this thing to the Pentagon with a list of 46 videos, dates, times, what happens in the videos.
Yeah.
And she's like, we want these videos. And it's been going on for a couple of weeks, back and forth. And it turns out they're in the process of being declassified, and now they might be coming out within the next week. So,
wow,
supposed to be some good stuff on there. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I try not to get overly excited, but
right.
I don't want to make it sound like I'm getting excited for a pro wrestling angle either. Just. But yeah, interesting time. We live in interesting times.
We absolutely do. I'm still, like I said, I still got to go back and really dive into it. It's been the week from hell for me, professionally, and it's been not great. So I don't want to necessarily go into it too much here on the show. But just as far as want to thank everybody for reaching out and connecting with me on that, and shit's been shit hit the fan for me a little bit in the shoot world, and I just wanted to thank everybody who's reached out and helped, and it's been wonderful. So I don't plan to be down on the mat too long. I kick out pretty quickly, so hopefully that's another one here. But we are here on a beautiful Sunday morning, and I want to know, sir, the BWO is turning 30 this year.
Yes.
And I want to know.
Yeah, insane.
Right now, I want to know, sir, when are we planning our big show for the BWO 30th? Let's talk about it. We got to talk about it. We're going to have a big celebration. Everything, all screens are going to be blue. We're going to invite, the Eiffel 65 guys who did the blue song. We're going to invite, the Smurfs. Maybe we'll get Phil Margera to show up in his blue paint. The opportunities are endless, sir. So really, now my real question is, how do you feel about the BWO turning 30? What's your thoughts on that?
As the BWO belt hangs behind me, the commemorative belt, dude, just it was a one night affair that was supposed to be just a one-off thing. Like, we had been doing parodies, me, Stevie, Nova. First me and Stevie, then Nova came along, me, Stevie, and Nova. And when we did the parody of Kiss, I was like, oh yeah, that's the biggest one we're ever going to do, right? Not knowing. And then the idea of, doing a parody of the NWO came up. And, it made sense because the NWO was the biggest thing in the world at the time.
Yeah.
And, we start bouncing around ideas and who's going to be who. And, we're like, should it be new Blue World Order or Blue New World Order? And I want this, how about this Blue World Order, and, we had to figure out who. I was like, Well, like Stevie's the tallest, so he should be Nash.
Mm-hmm.
I'm second tallest, so I should be, Scott Hall, and Nova could be Hogan, and Nova played that thing up to the hilt.
He did, yeah.
It was amazing, amazing. So it just the fact that and we went out there, at the time, I was doing airbrush shirts and stuff like that. I just went out, got 3 airbrush shirts. I was like, oh, well, let's do this once and that'll be it. And went out there, and the reaction was so good that we came back to the back, and Todd Gordon was like, I think we got something there. I think we're going to be doing more with this. And I was like, okay.
Right.
And then they went and got the shirts, silk screen, and the logo everybody wears to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Turned out to be one of the highest selling shirts in ECW history.
Mm-hmm.
I would talk to the merch girl, Bella, and she would tell me, yeah, they were selling like 200 shirts a night.
Wow,
something like that. And of course, we didn't see a penny of that, but yeah. we got something for it. We got something for it. But, hey, there's a saying, I'd rather be a hog and get fat I'd rather be a pig and let's start that one over. I'd rather be a pig and get fat than be a hog and get slaughtered. Like, oh, I want more t-shirt money. Well, yeah, then they could have just buried the thing and called it a day. But
right.
TV time, the TV time we got, and the avenues that led down were great. I mean, it was Stevie broke, it was a vehicle for Stevie to break away from us, and Stevie to break away from the flock, break away from Raven. And then Stevie became the co-main event of our first ever pay-per-view, all because of the BWO. So, it's amazing how this is one night parody that was supposed to be one night only became this thing that we're still talking about to this day.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Now, I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, and we can talk about this when, because I really want to, I feel like we owe it to the BWO and our fans. And also, real quick, Matthew Elvis Presley, yes, you are invited with bells on, so be there. Everyone's invited. Excuse me. When ECW invaded Raw, and I can see the picture of you at ringside, but were you wearing a BWO shirt at the time, or was it was BWO a part of that invasion? I'm trying to remember that whole part. Yeah.
We had the the special entrance. We didn't come through the normal Raw entrance. We came out through the crowd like we had been doing in ECW.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, if you watch, I get over the barricade and Stevie kind of pushes by me, and like the next week at the next set of shows, Bubba Ray Dudley was like breaking balls. He's like, oh, excuse me, Meanie, I gotta get through, blah blah blah. Everybody was ribbing Stevie for kind of like pushing me out of the way. But we were just so jacked on adrenaline. That was our first foray into live television. Now, we had been doing TV, but you do the TV, you wait for it to be edited, then you wait for it to air. This is instantaneous. So, I set my VCR before I left, and so as soon as I got home, went and watched it, just to see what it was like to be on live TV. But like I said, we were just so jacked off of adrenaline and knowing how many people are going to watch that segment. And the ratings come back, and that quarter hour that the BWO was on TV beat Nitro.
Wow.
Which was insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a few things that came out of that. That quarter hour, BWO beat Nitro, and we were the first instance of Vince McMahon acknowledging the New World Order. He's like, the BWO, not to be confused with the clothing line, New World Order. And calling them a clothing line. So
something he'd employ later. Something he'd employ later with a different company. Yeah, calling them a t-shirt company. Yeah,
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But it was amazing. And then me and Mrs. Meanie were watching that episode of when ECW invaded Raw just for shits and giggles. And there was a moment where like he brought me up again towards the end of the show, and I was like, that's so bizarre. It's like,
Yeah.
I think Jerry Lawler said something. He's like, be careful, I'll get the Blue Meanie back out here. And it's like,
I love that, dude. I love that. It's just, there's something about the fact that like Vince McMahon was just like hyped on you that makes like it warms my heart. It's like, I don't know, it's just the fact that like every time he sees you, you told me like, ha ha ha, Meanie, what's up? Like that's a genuine reaction from a human being that's like, oh, I'm so excited to see this guy. Yeah.
he was always good to me. He was always good to me. Like after the show, and Paul lines us up like we're meeting the Pope. We one by one go, in line.
Still.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know what? Before you say that, I don't mean to interrupt, but what did Paul say? And if you could please use the voice, because I would love to know like what that was like. Like, please stand still. Make sure you don't make eye contact.
Fellas, let's go say thank you to Vince McMahon. No, I don't even remember exactly what he said, but we all lined up and went up, shook his hand, and thank you. And when I got to him, he went, ha ha ha, ha Meanie. Because Paul went, sir, this is the Blue Meanie. And he just laughed, ha, 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 Meanie. And that's always stuck out to me. So that became my go-to Vince voice. But yeah, he was always good to me. Just, I later on, I go to WWE, and I think we're in Pittsburgh, and I'm just sitting around shooting the breeze with Tommy Blacha, WWF writer, used to write for Conan O'Brien back in the day. And he said to me, he's like, yeah, Vince likes you. He's like, oh, Meanie's a good guy. We just got to figure out what to do with him, kind of thing. And, Tommy didn't have to tell me that, he could have, kept that nugget to himself, for whatever reason, but he made it a point to tell me, Vince kind of put me over. So it's like, that's cool,
Yeah.
So, but 30 years of BWO, I'm forever grateful for, Stevie and Nova, right place, right time. We were just a couple kids, just trying to make our names in the business and try and make our way in the business. And, everybody's got their spot. Everybody wants to be the world champion and all that stuff. And rightfully so. Everybody should want to be the biggest, best thing in the business of professional wrestling. But you get dealt the cards you're dealt, and just like Dusty said, make it work, and we made it work. And the BWO was definitely a highlight of my career, and just the fact that NWO acknowledged it and put it over. And Scott Hall was like, even that Blue Meanie guy, he's me, so I should be like the leader of the New World Order, right? Just cool shit like that, just from people I admire and respect. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. One question for you on this, and I want to save the rest of it for our 30th anniversary celebration show, but was there what was the most surreal moment, I guess, being backstage at Raw when you guys came out as the BWO? Was there anything specific that was like, holy shit, this is wild? Like anything, maybe like meeting somebody or just the experience itself? What would you say was like the most surreal part of it all?
I mean, we got there, and like all the WWE guys were super cool, especially the Godwins, who I'm still friends with still friends with to this day. I guess the coolest thing is, we had our own entrance. So we had to if you watch Raw and you see the bleachers in the background, we had to walk underneath these bleachers and we'll go into this other door, and then you walk into the actual, they didn't have a production truck, but they had this, a million TVs, so they're editing the show and you're watching the show being edited on the fly. and they're like looking at us like, what are you doing here? I was like, well, we're going out this way. And we go out the door, and we just wait to hear the music, and hear Paul Heyman, say, play the music. And then, you hear the music, and we just come out through the crowd.
Crazy.
And it was just chaos. And they of course they loaded us up with a bunch of BWO shirts to throw out to the crowd, and there had been a good bunch of shirts in the crowd already. BWO shirts, it's just like, that's the cool thing about the BWO is the shirt's blue, so it automatically stands out in the audience, So, man, it's just, we're just so jacked up on adrenaline, So, if you go to my page on the WWE.com, the alumni section, there's a photo from that Raw, and you could just see the look on my face where it's just, I was ready to go. And Stevie wrestled little Guido and had a little fun. I had a fun little spot, hop in, make a face, roll back out. And but it was just, I can't put it into words. Just, how big that is. I was only in the business for a couple. I was in the business a year and a half when I went to ECW, and then, maybe was it 97? I started in the business in 94. 3 years later, I'm on Monday Night Raw. Just in a feature role. Just kind of like, my goodness.
I was gonna say it's not just anything. It's not just like appearing, right? You're in a actual prominently featured role in the show. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And like, I had no idea. Like, we were in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
Jim Thorpe. Sorry.
Yep. And that Friday or Saturday, and Paul pulled us aside. You're booked this Monday for Raw. I was like, holy shit. All right. Cool. So, and the week before, Lawler brought me up on TV. They had somebody kidding in the crowd with ECW sign, heckling Lawler. He grabs a sign, cuts a promo on ECW, and then Paul calls into the show, and Lawler says to Paul, "What are you going to do? Bring the Blue Meanie?" I was like, I'm sitting in my living room in South Philly going, what the fuck?
What do you say fuck me for?
Yeah. It was just like the funniest fucking thing, and Lawler mentions me on TV the next week, the week before. We go to, Jim Thorpe that weekend. Paul says, you're booked for Monday Night Raw this Monday. Holy shit. And then we find out what we're doing. And then the following week, find out that, our quarter hour beat the fucking, our quarter hour beat Nitro. And so it was just really crazy. It was really crazy. Actually, I forget where the week before we might have been somewhere else. I'm thinking the week after was Jim Thorpe, but I'm confusing the time Paul pulled me aside in Jim Thorpe and told me I was coming up to the studio and doing BlueDust. So I'm conflating two stories there, but there's been a couple times where Paul pulled me aside. It's like, all right, you're coming, you're going to Raw. All right, you're coming up to the studio and doing BlueDust, this kind of thing. So I just want to make sure I get the story right there. But
Jesse, one real quick before we move on. I have a funny comment here. Jesse Brown says, "Go ahead and hit the clip." You know the one.
Oh, well, it needs a little tightening up, but
The Blue Meanie.
I was laughing for a minute ago because a friend of the show, Heather Riley, jumped on a little late, and she's like, "Of course, every time I jump on the show, there's a fart reference," and it was like the loud one. So I was like, I hope that blasted through the speakers for you. Oh my God. I love it, man. Now I'm very excited to set something up for this 30th anniversary show. Really looking forward to it. Lots of questions that I have, but I want to transition into something real fast. Something that I don't know if ever's been really discussed before. There was an incident a couple years ago, probably maybe close to 20 years ago right now, with a wrestler. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, of course, former WWG. I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. We are not fucking talking about that again. But yeah, what was that again? I don't remember what happened.
I always pop for Philly captain going, "Hey, what happened?" You know.
I gotta slice that audio. I gotta find it. I mean, I've been meaning to do it and just fucking stop asking the JBL question. So, one question for you, real quick, before we get into my favorite segment of the show. The poop game was back this week, and very excited about that. And wait, Jesse Brown, JBL. This is news to me. Listen, I'm just saying, I don't know for sure, but we're gonna do a little bit of research before we talk about this.
Yeah.
But the Phillies shut out the Pirates yesterday. So how are we looking, man? How are we looking for the rest of the season here?
Well, that's to be determined. But the Phils were maybe 10 games under 500. They're like 9-19, and they go into Pittsburgh. They have a gritty win, against the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates were up like 6-0, and and as they say, I think John Kruk says that, I guess the good thing about being down early is, I got more time to come back. And, they chipped away and ended up winning the game 11-8, which was insane finish. And then the next, yesterday, they shut them out 6-0. Christopher Sanchez pitches a full game shutout, hits his own personal best with 13 strikeouts. The Phillies reached the 500, so they're even. Their score's even. Their record's even, I should say. And their bench coach, who was filling in for Don Mattingly, Dusty Wathan, got his first win as a head coach, or as a manager in Major League Baseball. So a bunch of cool things happened with that game. They played today at 1:00, so we'll see if they can go for the sweep. But the Phillies finally getting to the 500 level. Hopefully, the Atlanta Braves are running away with the Eastern Division, the NL East, and who knows if they'll catch them. But I kind of like when the Phillies were the wild card going into the playoffs. They won their division last year, and they had a week off with a bye, and for some reason I think that led to them being a little bit rusty, when they came into the playoffs. So, we'll see. I mean, there's still plenty of baseball to be played. I'll be seeing them Monday, but it'll be good. It'll be good, man. It's good that it looks like they're turning the corner and remembering who they are.
I want to ask too, also real quick, sent you something on the side. Andrew Bailey wanted to know, go Phils. Well, first of all, go Phils, and a pleasant Baba Booey to you, sir. And he says, all it took was Mattingly and bringing in Elmo, which Elmo seems to be the good luck charm, I feel like, in baseball. I definitely didn't cry watching that video of him and Bryce Harper. I definitely didn't cry. There was no tears, I promise. I don't know why you keep asking me. Stop asking. But no, I think, let me ask you this. What do you think about Don Mattingly? I think it was, not sure exactly how long ago it was that he started as the Phillies head coach, but it hasn't been long. Actually, I'm gonna look it up right now while we're talking about it. Don Mattingly, I mean, one of the best. They need a new picture of him. This poor man looks miserable in this photo. I don't like that. He looks like someone caught him in a moment, like, we gotta do something about this. But yeah, what do you think about Don Mattingly as the new coach, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was coming here just to be our bench coach, but baseball does what it does, and a lot of respect to Topper. He got the team to the World Series, got them to the playoffs, and this year started off rough. So, and I don't think Topper intended for the season to go away, the way it started. But he's basically contemplating retirement anyway. When he took the Phillies job, and he was our bench coach, and then he got promoted to head coach. So he'll probably just go off and into the sunset and just enjoy retirement. But Don Mattingly, baseball lifer, just sometimes it takes something like this to happen for the team to go, oh shit, we fucked up. We call somebody their job, and they kind of have to, it's just light the spark under their ass to remember who they are, and they're one of the best teams of baseball and one of the best cities, one of the best sports cities in baseball, so it's crazy. It sucks to see Topper go, but if you're gonna have a replacement, my God, Don Mattingly,
seriously, yeah. He's that guy. I want to quickly shout out the professor is here. The resident historian, Mass Sanity, is here. Greetings and salutations and a pleasant Baba Booey to you on this beautiful morning. I just completed a 5K, so it's only appropriate that I do a brief run-in to say hi. I hope you're, we're going to give you a celebratory fart and hope you didn't poo yourself during the run. That's a thing. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you. Matt from Dover says Donnie Bags.
Yep.
And here's a good one. This is actually, we'll talk about this a little bit here before we get into the remainder of the program. CBS cancels The Late Show. And after Stephen Colbert ends, his final guest, it will be no more. So the Late Show is, I think, officially over. How many more episodes are left? Is it done now already? Or are we?
No clue. They just had David Letterman on the other night. So maybe Letterman was the final guest, because they started throwing the furniture off the roof. So I'm going to assume it's done.
Yeah. So here we go. It's on. Let me see. Newsweek says the show ends next week, so it ends on May 21st.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So it looks like. I'm sorry. Yeah. So Thursday, May 21st is the last one. His final guests are going to be Jon Stewart, Steven Spielberg, with a special performance by David Byrne and Stephen Colbert. And then Wednesday, he does the Colbert questionnaire. And there's a couple of unannounced guests. And then Springsteen's going to be on. Oh, I definitely want to watch that. And then the last show is Thursday. So it is kind of nuts, man. It is kind of nuts that the show is going to be off the air, man. Did you ever get a chance to go to the Late Show with Letterman or Colbert?
Nah, unfortunately not. I've walked by the theater, but I never got to see either one. But I'll be interested to see the Spielberg one, because he's doing that new movie, Disclosure Day. And
yes,
that movie's been under lock and key to the point where the third act of the movie, nobody's allowed to see it. It's kind of crazy. I have a friend who's doing PR for that movie.
Oh, no shit.
She's like, I'm promoting a movie. I have no idea how it ends. So it's like, it's kind of crazy, but as soon as that comes out, I'm going to go see that first thing in the morning. I'll go to the first screening to avoid spoilers.
Matt from Dover says, watch Barack Obama turn out to be his last guest. Honestly,
he just had one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him or Joe Biden as the last guest on the show. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. But
he was breaking Obama's balls about the UFOs and stuff like that.
Meanie.
Blue Meanie, very cursed.
No question. Listen, it's not every day,
Really?
the biggest fucking star in wrestling. You know what? We're gonna run it back. We're gonna run it back.
Rank these people as cursed.
Oh.
Television's Rock the Dwayne Johnson, the Blue Meanie, and Bam Margera.
Oh, you said as cursed?
As cursed.
Okay, I guess the Dwayne can be least cursed, and then Bam Margera.
Yes.
Second cursed, and who was the other one?
Blue Meanie.
Blue Meanie, very cursed.
Excellent. Thank you.
You heard it here from the source, folks.
Yeah.
Blue Meanie, very cursed. But no, I appreciate you, sir. I have just a quick question I was thinking about a second ago, and it slipped my head. I was carrying the 12 and doing some mathematics, of course, because I do math during the show as well. It keeps my brain moving. Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
doing math during the show. I could sure go for a Baby Ruth right now, but what you sipping on today, partner?
A new brand I'm trying out called Vixie Peach Black Tea. So this one's got my attention. So
looking good. I have the cheap shit here from Aldi, the Sparkling Frost Pink Grapefruit. Get a little citrusy high here today. This will be nice. Very excited. Hope you're enjoying whatever you're sipping on this morning, wherever you're at. You could be anywhere in the world, and you're here with us right now. We appreciate you. Meanie, let's crack these suckers. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Drink it down. It always goes down smooth. Pinkies up. Cheers, beers, my friends. Oh, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's such good shit.
30 milligrams of caffeine.
Woo! You'll be dancing on the ceiling today. Shout out to Lionel Richie. Hell yes. All right, we got a couple good questions for us here. Ask Meanie and Adam, did you guys watch the fights last night? And if so, what were your thoughts?
I caught clips here and there. Like I said, the internet shows me more than anything. Who was it? The one guy got busted open pretty bad. The brother, Nate Diaz, got busted open pretty good. They just stopped it in between the rounds. I saw that. I saw highlights, I should say, of that fight. And then, of course, Ronda wins in like 17 seconds, which, okay. I'm indifferent. Right. I'm just indifferent, but I guess it turned out to be an okay event. Maybe they're going to be doing more. They definitely got the attention of UFC, who, during, last night's event on Netflix, they went and announced that Conor McGregor's coming back to UFC. So they don't do that to just anybody. I don't even know what you would call last night's promotion, other than, fights on Netflix, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. I know it's Netflix Sports, but I'm not sure if there's like a specific brand for it.
Yeah. But Dana, did the old we'll announce it and make a big announcement for our shows while this one's going on. Some fighter got asked last night. They announced let me see if I still have it up.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what do you want me to do? Stop my walkout just to acknowledge this announcement? He's like, it was on the Instagram.
I didn't watch last night.
I lost it, but it was pretty funny. Some guy was asked post fight, tonight, at the post fight, press conference. Dana White announced Conor McGregor is like, so what? What do you want me to do?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Stop my walkout. I got to worry about my fight.
I'm busy right now. We can talk about this later. Leave me alone. Like I said, I'm kind of like Meanie. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Speeder in 7. Okay.
That was a thing.
Yeah. That is, as we say on the show, that is certainly a thing that happened.
Yes.
And I don't know. I'm not, no, I'm going to leave it right there. I think that's probably a good place to leave it. David from Quakertown wants to know thoughts on Leo Rush's new gimmick.
I've seen bits and pieces here and there. It's interesting, don't know how long it'll last. He's in AEW now, maybe?
Yeah, he's AEW. But I think he's doing more stuff in Ring of Honor than AEW.
Right. So it's intriguing. Seems like there's a lot involved because he's, carrying on the character outside the ring as well, which this day and age is like, it's a lot of work,
Yeah.
If I could walk around going all day, that'd be a lot of work, So, but and fans are more sophisticated this day, in this day and age. The only person who gets away with it is Danhausen,
Yes, of course.
Blue Meanie very cursed.
Yes, but more. Hopefully, it works out for him.
And we got our last question here from Matt from Dover. The Green 413 says, Meanie, what was the biggest swerve you've ever seen in a movie?
Had to be Sixth Sense, right?
Yeah.
You know, I was watching that whole movie, not realizing Bruce Willis. Oh, spoiler alert!
Right.
Bruce Willis.
Oh, Matthew, I spoiled that. Fun fact about me, some lore for me. I inadvertently spoiled the end of The Sixth Sense for Matthew, my brother.
God.
I was so upset. I still to this day, he will not let me live it down. I just forgot he wasn't there with us watching a movie, and he comes up, and I made a comment to my mom, and he was like, "What the fuck?" I didn't watch it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" See, yeah, Matthew says, "Look, true story. It's fucking true." I was so upset with myself. I was like, "Oh fuck, man, the worst." Yep, nope, never will. Yeah, sorry, dude, my bad.
Yeah, you know, M. Night Shyamalan was pretty good for those swerves, you know. So yeah, I'd have to say Sixth Sense. You know, just I remember being in a theater, and when it was revealed, you know, you hear people go, "Oh shit!" You know, it's like that was kind of cool, you know.
Yeah, that's a great. I would say if you're asking me, Matt, which you're probably not, but you're asking me, I would say 7. I think was probably my favorite, like reveal, and you know, not just with Kevin Spacey, but like the end of the movie. You know, that shit was phenomenal.
Usual Suspects was pretty good too.
Yep, that was a solid swerve. What else? I'm trying to think of some other ones now. I don't know. There's just something deeply unsettling about him going, "Oh, he didn't know." Looking right at Morgan Freeman, you're like, "Yep, this motherfucker's dead."
Yeah.
He's dead where he's kneeling right now.
Yeah.
Jesse Brown, Matthew, spoiler alert coming up real fast. Just look away if you don't want to know this. Don't watch Titanic. They die. Yeah, it was Elvis Presley says, "Yeah, I was shocked when the ship sank and Titanic." Wait, so the boat went down in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you watch Jaws in reverse, you know, it's a movie about a shark throwing up people into the shore.
Oh my God. We want to thank you for being here today with us, friends. You can be anywhere in the world and you've joined us. We want to thank you for your questions as well. Meanie, it's about that time, brother.
Oh yeah.
Where can everybody keep up to date with all things blue when they're not listening to the program?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Blue Meanie BWO, wherever you get your favorite social medias. If you would like to support the Blue Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie. If you would like to support Mind of the Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Now, today being my birthday, use promo code Meanie, get 20% off on all t-shirts at Blue Meanie and Mind of the Meanie shirts for the Blue Meanie birthday sale. So get over there and take advantage of those savings. You know, they're kind enough to let me do that, you know, once a year for both stores. So go over there and take advantage of some discounts there. MadCareBeardCare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil or Balm. Shout out to Josh Thornton, doing an amazing job over there at MadCareBeardCare.com, running out the cats, releasing them back in the wild better than they found them. So if you're a cat lover like myself, go to MadCatBeardCare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters created by the amazing Hal Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others. I'm trying not to spoil, so go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com or on Twitter at UPW Video Game. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's podstrz.net. Register your podcast, book the Blue Guy, and let's have a conversation over there at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Please book through the site. Don't book through the app. That takes way too much of your hard-earned money. Did it, you know, a couple of this past couple of weeks, and they're always fun to do. Make somebody stay a little bit brighter. So go to cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. But most importantly, Mr. Bernard, where can we find you, sir?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand pal. So we want to thank you for following over there. I want to shout out this guy, Chad. Not the Gins, not Chad Ginsburg, who I saw yesterday, but a gentleman who follows my my work. I met him over at the CKY event at Rose Hip Barn, and it was the first time that anybody has like recognized me in public, right? And it was cool. It was just like, oh yeah, like yeah, I know these guys. And he was like, man, I feel like I know you somewhere. What do I? He's like, you hang out with like Cameron Hawkins and Malcolm, right? And I was like, how the hell do you know those? Like I was like, just like the first thing about, how do you know Seahawk? You know? And that was cool. You know, we took a flick, and it was just it was nice to be recognized for the first time. So Chad, thank you for listening. If you are listening today, and thank you for following along and following my work, which you can also take a look at over at TheSportster and Give Me Sport, because I'm doing double duty over there for Valnet Sports right now. Got lots of good stuff coming up. I will be with Malcolm at AEWA or Double or Nothing. In the great state of I think it's Queens, right? Is it Queens or the Bronx? One of those two. This weekend coming up, got my approvals, and then I'll also be in Philadelphia at the Leo Core Center for the AEW show. So don't forget to check me out there. Got lots of good stuff, and also over at Give Me Sport, I had a great interview with the director of U.S. Against the World. It's the 4-year journey for the U.S. national men's soccer team. That brings it right up here to the FIFA World Cup. Rand Getlin. It's a wonderful conversation. 12 minutes. The guy's fucking great. So go and check it out there. I also had a chance to talk to TNA voice Tom Hannafin, who is also a Philadelphia guy as well. And a pleasant go Birds to you, sir. So we want to thank you. So check everything over there at thesportster.com and givemesport.com. And you can also listen to all of those interviews right now over at Foundation Radio's feed at foundationradio.net or wherever you subscribe to your favorite podcast. Lots of cool stuff coming up that I can't share yet because I have to confirm it still, but it's all in the works, and I'm very excited. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa de Meanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Got to be careful with those deep breaths today. Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Tiers start at just $10 human. So go and sign up today and join us every week, and you can see our beautiful faces. And if you look above Meanie's head, you can see youtube.com/@Mind of the Meanie. Carl, we want to thank you for securing that very tightly this week. We appreciate you. Don't forget to follow the show at all the social media handles down here. Yes, we are on Blue Sky on all of ours, but I am not very active on Blue Sky. So I would say try to follow me everywhere else. But we appreciate you being here, and thank you for being here. Meanie, happy birthday, brother. I hope it's a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Wonderful week. And we appreciate you, and we appreciate you for being here. For the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
Blue World Order.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.